We really have a strive for perfection, always wanting to improve to such an extent that it almost becomes perverted. How far can you go? Steinbeisser means biting on rock. It's, in a way, a metaphor that expresses the struggle that our audience has when they come to the dinner. Since 2012, we started the Experimental Gastronomy project, where we wanted to bring chefs in contact with artists in order to get them out of their comfort zone.
My pieces have a vulnerable, grotesque, sort of imperfect quality to them. You know, I like when people look at my work to have this kind of mixed reaction of not fully knowing where it stands in between like art and a functional object. It's like trying to crack a code or something, you know, like it's there and I know it's there, but I just like will keep digging into it until it hits this point that's like, oh, that means something new to me.
We always ask the artists, okay, don't play safe. Don't play by the rules. Go to the edge. Where can you make guests angry? Where do people start screaming?
My understanding is that Steinbeisser is an experimental collective who have worked with chefs and artists to create these experiential dinners that involve an artistic statement every step of the way.
Chefs would be challenged to cook all plant-based dinner, vegan, organic, especially biodynamic, Demeter ingredients. And they would all have to be sourced local.
If vegan is not a restriction, then certainly the locavore and the biodynamics is on top of it. So that makes it a big challenge, but also an exciting one. Martin proposed finding a couple other chefs. I've known Daniel for 25 years. Corey, I've known for a long time as well. I have tremendous respect for both of them. I couldn't think of two other chefs that would respond as well to something like this. I think a lot of the plates, when we saw photographs, we kind of look at them kind of cockeyed. Once we saw them for the first time, that's when the ideas really started to flow.
It's kind of interesting for me because I'm obviously here I would never serve anything, you know? But maybe that's what this event's about, like just trying something different.
What if you make
Like
things that smell amazing, so you really want to eat them, and they're stuck down at the bottom? We'll call the dish frustration.
It's so dark, man. Lighten up.
I think there's going to be a big switching around. You know, well, what do you got? You know, what are you going to trade me for it?
I feel like we're going to fist fight, right?
At least arm wrestle.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'm hoping people will really be challenged by a lot of the stuff that I made for them, because I want it to be this sort of unexpected experience that the people have when they use these objects. Some of them will be a totally experimental process as they're picking it up, really figuring out how they're supposed to interact as a group. These are all objects that you're going to be putting in your mouth, and, you know, they kind of suggest these bodily forms, and then it becomes this unnerving experience. It's very open for the chefs to do whatever they want, so it'll be fun to see how it turns out.
I think the pieces from Julian, they are very challenging. They really, for me, enhance this idea of community to an extreme that we never had. There was also a spoon that looked from the other side like a butt.
I expressed reservations about the utensils. I said, you know, I don't think there's going to be any utensils that are going to work with my dishes. And Martin's response was, this is an experimental dinner, and I'm not worried about it at all. We'll find out a way. People will figure it out.
It's our biggest event. An event that is so extraordinary and expensive. It will be very interesting. What is very important to mention is that the pieces are very challenging. Give yourself to the pieces. Feed each other. It's just really playful. It's not about etiquette tonight.
What is it? Oh my gosh. I'm strange.
Not only it's a collaboration between the chefs and the artists, but it's going to be a collaboration between the guests and the dinner itself. And I think if everybody approaches with an open mind, we're all going to have a great experience.
What you're eating right now is rice with assorted condiments and fermented soy paste on top of a piece from healthy fat.
So two of you can share next to each other or across from each other? Oh, careful, watch your head.
What's your eye?
You have a sort of bond because you went through that struggle with each other, so you got something to talk about.
Only have this.
In the end, I think food is something very much about connecting people. It's like a situation where you can exchange the love and the care that you have for each other. If the pieces have that power to bring people together, I think then that's where you should go as an artist.